Thank you for clicking onto this reaction. I hope you're looking forward to it just as much as I am. If you haven't already, head over to the content creators page. That link is in the description box down below. If you haven't already and you're enjoying our content, you know what you need to do. You need to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, but we're going to jump straight into this one. Count Dankula, the cult that worships a cartoon mouse. Let's go.
Yes, religion. Love it or hate it, embrace it or shun it, but it's had a massive impact on our history and our society. Those impacts haven't always been good, and with religion follows the development and obsession with the occult. Crowley, Asahara, Jones and Applewhite, all leaders of wacky religious cults with a variety of strange beliefs that over time became infamous throughout the world, especially with the birth of the internet. But with the popularisation of mass media and the internet, a new cult would be born. One that is very different from other cults you've seen in the past. It's definitely a strange one, but it's not as extreme as other cults. No, you won't see mass suicide, upside down crosses, human sacrifice, or sex rituals.
Sex rituals.
Well, maybe that last one, but it's concentrated Slavic obsession
sex
with
rituals with a
an
mouse.
anthropomorphic animal cartoon character from the 1980s children's cartoon show Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
No.
What? I never
The
watched
religion
this.
of Gadget Hack Wrench. Gadgetology.
She ain't even got back.
Oh, I remember her. I remember watching The Rescuers Down Under on VHS tape, and I'm pretty sure we had a few others. And I remember there's a in The Rescuers. There is an image of where they go down in like a sardine airplane type job, and one of the stills in the apartment window in the back is a topless woman.
Old cartoons got away with murder.
Yeah. I need to find who this cult
Please
are.
leave a like and a comment on this video because it really helps me in the algorithm. Before we get started, we have a new sponsor. So I'm sure we are all well aware that groups of individuals can obsess over the most absurd things, especially when it comes to animals. But this group of Russians are pretty obscure when it comes to their obsessions, to the point where they are a religious cult.
I would have thought Americans.
One disclaimer before I get too
Americans.
deep into things. This topic, as I mentioned, is rather obscure, along with being Russian in origin. Meaning, it may lead to a lot of speculation, since these guys are not the most well-documented cult, and a lot of the information about them is hidden in deep, dark and obscure parts of the internet. Also, Google Translate isn't always correct, so some information might be misinterpreted. So, take all the things I say
Jack loves a 4chan search.
in this video.
Oh, your old flat. Oh, I used to love that. I used to be sitting on a sofa or the chair just baned off my tit, and a man would turn to me and go, Jack, yes. Do you want a 4chan? Yes, I do. And I'd get up, I'd sit right next to him, sometimes on his fucking lap, bro. And we'd just scroll through all these 4chan videos, and it was amazing. The shit that you see. I loved it. It was like Father Christmas.
Old you are, you might not remember Chippendale Rescue Rangers, which ran for a total of 3 seasons between 1989 to 1990. I actually do remember it, and I did actually watch it as a child. But
Oh no, the Rescuers are different.
Were they?
Yeah.
I don't remember these guys.
Transformers. Even though it was cancelled, I'm sure there was a steady fandom of the series throughout the world. But in this case, for some reason, Chippendale Rescue Rangers was particularly popular in Russia. Apparently originating in the city of Nizhny Novgorod, which is to the east of Moscow, a group of enthusiastic Chippendale fans would collude to form Gadgetology, also known as Gaikoslavy. Now, there are 2 ways you can look at this. You could have the immediate thought of, right, I know a shitpost when I see one, or holy fuck, these guys actually believe this shit. And I will be honest, it's very hard to tell what line this group actually falls under, because I'm sure that some of them probably did have a passion for the show and they just thought it would be funny to start a cult, or what some people would deem as a parody religion, like Flying Spaghetti Monster or Dudism. But from what we've seen, it appears to be something that has ran away with itself. And
as things on the internet always do.
Was in fact started as a joke, but then some people joined and started taking it a little bit too seriously. I'm also sure that there were some people that were just taking the joke a little bit too far, and there were also some people that went a little bit Chris Chan on the situation. Autism's a powerful thing. Now, generally, it seems that the cult was formed around the early 2010s.
It really is.
Apparently, it might have also been started around 2009. Again, some information may be lost due to miscommunication or mistranslation. Now, I'm not sure exactly how this group was formed.
Sorry.
Presumably via various Russian forums and message boards at the time, which eventually prompted them all to meet up together in Nizhny Novgorod. So, that begs the question, what is the focus of this cult, and what do they do exactly? Well, for starters, I'm sure they're all pretty big fans of the show itself, but the main character that they are obsessed with
is the female,
the
right?
femoid mouse by the name of
Femoid.
Gadget Hackwrench, praise be upon her, which is where the cult gets its name from. So why are these Slavs so obsessed with Gadget? Well, it's hard to tell why they worship her as their goddess, but there is two rough ideas that I could maybe pinpoint, although this is spitballing. There is the nostalgic and comforting idea of Gadget, as apparently she embodies the ideal woman for Russians of that generation. Quirky, optimistic, technical capabilities beyond the average woman, and of course, cute. I mean, okay, if you're into that type of shit. Think of her as the furry Ellen Ripley to the Russians, which does bring us to the furry question. Now, again, I'm not entirely sure if they are furries, but from what I've seen, it seems that they are just obsessed with the character Gadget and not anthropomorphic mice as a whole.
Okay.
So, the other sets of interests that these followers may have is that they see Gadget as a form of purity, the light to the dark times, the cheese to their chalk. You know, seeing her as the perfect embodiment of a goddess, bringing divine optimism to their probably rather dull lives in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. And I am very sure that she does bring them all joy, as they apparently have regular meetups on Gadget's birthday, which is considered one of the most holiest.
Pose it. Fucking pose it now.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jack. They're all perfectly okay people.
Yeah, 100%. There is nothing wrong with any of them.
I'm being serious.
Yeah, no,
and
so
you're
much.
not.
100%. What is wrong with this picture, however,
is go on.
I'm guessing, right, that these guys must be about 5'8", 5'9", maybe. They have a full-on 6 foot picture of this fucking mouse.
Of course they do. It's their goddess, Jack.
How many...
They worship her. It's their queen.
Variety of acts, like offering her gifts in a ceremonial ritual, marching around with tiki torches, singing songs, dancing, and even more. Oh, and of course, they always make sure to spread.
She doesn't even have that much of a back,
by
bro.
Putting flyers everywhere in their local area. So the general concept of this religion is the manifestation of something that is fictional to make it become reality, which I'm sure you've all heard about before in movies and so on, and
religion.
Very, very popular in the occult. This is more commonly known as egregore, an ancient concept of bringing the non-physical world into the physical world. And egregore is something that you should all Google right now and read up on and learn everything you can about it, because once you do, you'll start seeing it everywhere. Now, the general beliefs of gadgetology.
Let us know if you want to let us know if we should have a look into that.
Right.
And of course, with every religion, there are various paths. I'm sure there are a lot more, but generally this is split up into 3 main areas. Firstly, you have your trad waifu gadgetologists who perform basic spiritual communion for Gadget, along with performing righteous acts, which are the basis of a, quote, Gaikoslav life. Yes, Boris. Of course, with traditionalists, there are also progressives, unfortunately, who focus a lot more on self-improvement along with the purity of their day-to-day life, not just their time spent in church. This direction of gadgetology is to lead your life by example of the other characters in the show by helping others, fighting evil with all of your strength, and becoming as morally close to the other characters as you can, or as the cult calls them, the rescuers. Basically, this branch wants you to be like the rescuers. Lastly, there is apocalyptic gadgetology. Because look, you're just not a weird cult if you don't have a doomsday prophecy. This basically follows the same Christian belief of rapture and the 4 horsemen and all of that jazz, focusing on the salvation of your soul. Oh, and I'm pretty sure that instead of Jesus coming back, it would be Gadget herself, etc., etc. You get the idea. Along with the main divisions of gadgetology, there are also some general teachings. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about the teachings, Jack? Because it's on par with the Bible in terms of length, but I'll give you a few examples. There is the very first teaching, which is the second coming of Gadget Hackwrench, described as the most archaic of all teachings. This doesn't mean that Gadget will physically manifest herself on Earth. What they actually mean by the second coming is they want Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers to be uncancelled and relaunched on TV. Although, apparently this teaching was...
The second coming of the TV show.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, what other teachings?
No.
Due to there being a lot more content of Rescue Rangers outside of the series, along with people in the modern world just really not watching regular TV as much.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, they also teach a doctrine of good and evil and their opposition. Just think of it as heaven and hell, but a lot more cartoony. I will admit that a lot of these teachings are just basically rehashed Christian beliefs. But hey, most religions copy something. The few teachings that are strictly gadget orientated, however, are quite funny. For example, there is the teaching of the fan art, which states that grace can be met not just by prayer, but also by creating beautiful types of art to get in touch with the divine goddess Gadget Hackwrench.
No. Don't.
Show us it!
Part of me online. There's rule 34 of me online. And there is nothing divine about any of them. Another teaching is the teaching of Gadget. Basically, if you don't pray to and worship Gadget, she will end up being forgotten, which is another form of death. It's like that quote. They say you die twice. Once when you stop breathing, and the second time a bit later on when somebody says your name for the last time. Which is actually a quote from Banksy from back when he was actually against the machine instead of just being another propaganda cog in it. But anyway, what could actually be worse than Gadget dying? Well, let's get on to that. I'm sure some of you may have heard about the new Chip and Dale movie, which was okay. But the coming of a new movie may have seemed like some good news for the gadgetologists. Holy shit, we are finally getting some new content of Gadget Hackwrench for the first time in decades. They were absolutely hyped about it.
Oh, she's not.
Okay.
Until one particular scene in the movie. To catch some of you up, in the original Chip and Dale series, there's two main characters, Chip and Dale, of whom Gadget Hackwrench was basically the love interest. You would think, yeah, okay, in the canon, probably one of those two would settle down with Gadget. But canonically, in the new movie, they wrote that instead of Gadget being with Chip or Dale, another side character was chosen instead. A literal fucking fly called Zipper. Basically, this was the biggest backfill to the Russians since Victor Tsoi died. There are a variety of images I can use to sum this up, but I think this does the best justice. I don't know why it's funny.
Okay, what the fuck happened? The Russian cult of Gadget got cucked by this fly, according to some Disney reboot. I assume this is part of the sanctions promised by Biden a few months ago.
That's painful, man. Oh, mate.
Maybe that doesn't quite capture the sheer rage of the gadgetologists, but perhaps this post does. He fucked her. He infected her womb with his shit-orbiting, hand-rubbing insect seed, and you know what? She loved it. She begged for more. He literally made her a breeding factory. This is the face of the man who won it all.
Won it all.
Like, even in the movie, they've got like 300 like fly babies. Oh, it's so stupid, but Jesus.
Oh, they stitched
Jesus
them up.
Christ, did it make people angry. Some of the posts were obvious shit posts, you know, where people just fake some rage to drum up the memery about the whole debacle, but a lot of anons on some message boards did actually seem very pissed off about this revelation, and a lot of the gadgetology followers were furious as well. Like, I'm not a big fan of the show myself, but it does seem rather weird that they put that in the film. Like, they were actively trying to fuck with the gadgetology. But the problem, since gadgetology is mostly a parody in itself, is you can't tell if these rage posts are actually real or just people playing the part. The cult themselves do have an official website, which looks like it hasn't changed since the early 2000s, which, when I had a look, it still seems to be active. Most of the pages are broken and only half of it is translated, so you'll need to translate the rest for yourselves, if you would like to follow the gracious words of our saviour goddess, Gadget Hackwrench, praise be upon her. This is a weird cult as far as cults go, but honestly, they don't seem that bad overall. Yeah, you could call them cringe or whatever, but what they do is pretty tame. It seems that they mostly keep to themselves and spread the word of gadgetology when they can, while still having fun. But of course, you would think that it all went downhill for them after their goddess got flied. As for the cult itself, I think it's safe to say that it's about 90-95% ironic. Right? It's a shitpost. It's a joke. People started this religion and go along with it, obviously, for a meme. They did it for a laugh.
Yeah.
Even the little ceremonies that they put on is clearly just a bunch of kids having a LARP and taking the piss. The ceremonies seem to be just used as a big joke of an excuse to all meet up, get drunk, and party together. However, whenever you get such groups, you always get people who join.
They have some mass orgies for sure.
I need some orgies.
You do need some orgies.
I didn't realise what you were doing, and then I looked over and I'm halfway off the fucking screen. It's like my mum pulling me away from the sweet aisle. No.
I do have to fucking look after you like you're my child, Jack. That's not a lie.
When you get in such a situation, it gets very hard to tell who is joking and who isn't.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun.
What the fuck was that edit?
It was him cracking.
Whoa, that's so funny. What a great episode. You know what to do. If you haven't already, head over to the page that links in the description box down below. If you're looking forward to our next reaction, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we will catch you in the next video.
Bye bye.